Dear students, a topic of today's lecture of discipline Toxicological and Forensic Chemistry is group of poisonous substances which are isolated from the biological material by organic solvents, pesticides. Speaker, Doctor of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Professor Vilchinska Elena. Content: general characteristics of pesticides, classification, toxicity, mechanisms of toxic action by transformation, organophosphates, organochlorines, pyrethroids. Practically directed educational objectives of the lecture is to study the class of group of poison substances which are isolated from biological material by extraction, structure, metabolism, identification, and quantitative determination, pesticides and pyrethroids with different chemical structure as well-known representatives of this group, toxic substances, which are used in agriculture and home and are very toxic for the human. Test, which from the list of preparation is a representative of pesticides. The correct answer is A, chlorophos. Pesticides are chemicals which used in agriculture to protect of plants from various pests, plants, and diseases for health of people and animals. In the world assortment of pesticides, about 500 compounds are constantly used. By their application, there are groups of pesticides, insecticides, acaricides, herbicides, algicides, fungicides, bactericides, molluscicides, nematicides, zoocides. Pesticides include repellents and antifidans, attractants, compounds that are attracted, hormonal insecticides, and hemostimulants, hinder normal development and reproduction. Pesticides used in agriculture in every life. They are active towards target organisms and characterized by selective action. United States of America every year upon to 10,000 poisons by insecticides with fatal ends. Toxicological significance. Toxic to humans, home animals, beneficial insects and plants. Accumulate in the body, highly persistent, violate the ecological balance. Pesticides, toxicological significance. Organophosphates are inhibitors of carboxystrases, including acetylcholinesterase and pseudocholinesterase. Organophosphates is a very big class of chemical compounds which contain not only pesticides but military nerve agents, for example, sarin, zomin, and other. Complex OP and enzyme is destroyed for a long time, from several days to several weeks. On a scale of acute oral toxicity data, pesticides are divided to extremely toxic, very toxic, moderately toxic, slightly toxic. Pesticide poisoning symptoms can be confused with flu, heat injuries, food poisoning, asthma. You can see information about symptoms of pesticide poisoning. For example, coma, salivation, vomiting, diarrhea, tremor, and other. Test. In what area nematicides are using? The correct answer is C, for fight against nematodes. Pesticides, isolation, extraction by organic solvents, steam distillation. Before extraction of pesticides, precipitation of proteins and destruction of protein phospholipids bonds, steam distillation for volatile pesticides. For cleaning extracts of pesticides, extraction, chromatography, combination of extraction and chromatography, steam distillation, sublimation, and vacuum dialysis are rarely used. Representatives of pesticides, organophosphates, OP. You can see chemical formulas of organophosphates, chlorophos, peroxan, metaphos. This process is called aging after its enzyme loses its ability to spontaneous reactivation. Its activity in blood is normalized by the synthesis of new molecules of cholinesterase. 4 degrees of poisoning of the OP. Light, cholinesterase inhibition 50%. Moderate, 60–70%. Severe, 80–90%. Fatal, 95–99%. Organophosphates, toxicological significance. Stimulation of muscarinic receptors occur. Stimulation of nicotinic receptors in the neuromuscular synapses develop. Symptoms are defecation, urination, meiosis, bronchuria, bronchospasm, bradycardia, emesis, lacrimation, salivation. Antidotes and effective drugs. Atropine is a competitive acetylcholine antagonist. Carboxyme, Elexon. Metabolism. The main ways of metabolism of organophosphates are oxidation, oxidation with OD relation, hydrolysis. Qualitative analysis of organophosphates. We can use reactions for detection of phosphorus. Products of these reactions: phosphorus molybdic acid or molybdenum blue, phosphorus molybdenum blue. Hydroperoxide test, azodide formation. Reaction with toluene, acetone, dinitrophenylhydrazine. Quantitative analysis of organophosphates. Instrumental methods: gas-liquid chromatography, photocolorimetric method. Organochlorines. First group is a group of hexachlorocyclohexane, or HCCH. HCCH used as a contact and digestive insecticides, as a fumigant. Its smell is very specific, the smell of mold. Second group of dichlorodiphenyl trichloromethylmethane, or DDT. Third group of bridged polycyclic chlorinated compounds, heptachlor. In case of cultivation of the ground by organochlorines over 7 years is maintained between 99 to 80% in the initial amount of these pesticides. Metabolism. The main way of metabolism of heptachlor is oxidation. The main ways of metabolism of pesticide HCCH are dechlorination, hydroxylation, conjugation. The main ways of metabolism of DDT are dehydrogenation, hydrolysis. The main metabolite is DGA, dichlorodiphenyl acetic acid. Qualitative analysis. Determination of fluorine for DDT, a white precipitate forms. The reaction of acid salt with quinone structure formation. Reaction for HCCH, a violet color. Quantitative analysis, thin layer chromatography, instrumental methods, iodometry, argentometry, colorimetry. Pyrethroids. Pyrethroids, a group of insecticides, synthetic analogues of the natural pyrethrins, which are similar in nature and mechanism of the physiological effect, but sometimes they have very different in chemical structure. Pyrethroids are showing high insecticide activity against insect pests. Pyrethroids show moderate toxicity to warm-blooded animals, but have the disadvantage, low photochemical stability. Deficiency of pyrethroids, toxic effect on bees, fish, lack of systemic action, inability to influence the insects that live in the ground. Pyrethroids of first generation, structurally similar to natural derivatives of crimsacin acid, L-serine, resmetirin, tetramethrin. Pyrethroids of second generation, more stable to oxidation, esters of dimethylcyclopropane carbonic acids, permethrin, cypermethrin. Pyrethroids of third generation, cyhalothrin, flucitrinate, fluvalinate. Antidotes and effective drugs. We can use barbiturates, benzodiazepines. Pyrethroids eliminate from the body during 3-4 weeks. In this case, a pattern is observed. The more poisonous drug, the faster it's excreted from the body of animal and human. Metabolism. The main metabolites of synthetic pyrethroids of the third generation are meta-phenoxybenzol alcohol and mesa-phenoxybenzoic acid. Analysis of pyrethroids. Qualitative analysis is functional analysis, reactions on groups, hydroxy, phenyl, carboxy, and so on. Quantitative analysis. We can use instrumental methods, thin layer chromatography, gas-liquid chromatography. Some foodstuffs accumulate pesticides, for example, apples, celery, strawberries, and others. Other foodstuffs do not accumulate pesticides, for example, bananas, mango, kiwi. Test. Which compound from the list is the representative of organochlorines, pesticides? The correct answer is E, DDT. So, the toxic substances considered today are pesticides with different chemical structure, which used in home in agriculture and have a certain toxicological significance. These compounds are isolated from biological material by extraction, steam distillation. The metabolism, methods of qualitative detection, quantitative determination of representatives of this group of compounds are considered. For your attention, recommended literature for study of the discipline. Thank you for your attention.